Debunking the myth of immigrants are criminals. Immigration and crime in South Africa.
So the topic of immigrant crime in South Africa is different. It is different, but still, it is a very, very essential topic to address.
The statement that immigrants are criminals and immigrant crime is generally on the rise is false. Unfortunately, comprehensive and up-to-date statistics specifically on immigrant crime in South Africa are scarce. However, here are some general observations. 1. General crime rates. According to a report by the Human Sciences Research Council, HSRC, immigrants are less likely to commit crimes compared to South African citizens. The data shows no statistical relationship between international migration and crime rates in South Africa. This HSRC's findings that immigrants are less likely to commit crimes compared to South Africa citizens could be attributed to several factors. A. Self-selection. Economic motivation. Many immigrants come to South Africa seeking economic opportunities and better living conditions. This strong economic motivation can deter them from engaging in criminal activities that could jeopardize their goals. Educational background also play a role. Immigrants often have higher educational qualifications or different skill sets compared to the local population. These qualifications can provide them with legitimate avenues for employment and social mobility, reducing the likelihood of resorting to crime.
This is particularly true because most times, especially people from West Africa, when they are traveling, doesn't matter to the UK, to America, or to South Africa, or wherever they're traveling to, one of the most important things that they usually try to do is to learn a skill that is going to sustain you for the main time while you're there. And usually they do plaiting hair, like females' hair, cutting hair, being a barber, or doing nails. These are the three most important skills that most immigrants learn in West Africa before they move. Because we know when we live in the idea is not to go and commit crime.
B. Social integration and networks. Strong social ties. Immigrants may form strong social networks within their communities, providing support, guidance, and deterrence from criminal behavior. Moreover, the cultural norms and values of immigrants' countries of origin might emphasize honesty, hard work, and respect for the law, which can contribute to lower crime rates. C. Legal status and employment opportunities. Legal constraints. Immigrants with legal status may be more likely to abide by the law due to the potential consequences of violating immigration regulations. However, undocumented immigrants may face limited job opportunities, forcing them into informal or underground economies. But this doesn't necessarily correlate with higher crime rates. 2. Perception versus reality.
Despite the data, a significant portion of the South African population believe that immigrants increase crime.
This perception is often fueled by misinformation and xenophobic sentiments. The discrepancy between the data and public perception is a common issue in many societies. Misinformation and xenophobic sentiments can significantly influence public opinion, even when factual evidence contradicts these beliefs. A. Media sensationalism. Media outlets may sensationalize stories involving immigrants and crime, often exaggerating or distorting the facts to attract viewers or readers. This can contribute to a distorted view of reality. B. Political exploitation. Politicians may exploit fears about immigration for political gain, often making unfounded claims about crime rates to rally support. This can reinforce negative stereotypes and prejudice. C. Personal experiences. Individual experiences with crime, even if unrelated to immigration, can reinforce existing biases. People may be more likely to remember and share stories that confirm their pre-existing beliefs. 3. Conviction rates. Data from Africa Check indicates that undocumented immigrants made up just over 2% of all people convicted of crimes in South Africa over a 5-year period. This suggests that the contribution of undocumented immigrants to overall crime is minimal. The term undocumented refers to those without permission to be in the country, but some people become undocumented due to changes in the law or asylum refusals. Statistics South Africa estimated around 3.95 million immigrants in 2021, 6.6% of the population. 4. Violent crimes. In 2017, the Gauteng Provincial Commissioner claimed that about 60% of suspects arrested for violent crimes in the province were illegal immigrants. However, this statement was not backed by publicly released data and may have contributed to xenophobic attitudes. The police in South Africa do not publicly release data on the nationalities of those they arrest. This lack of transparency makes it difficult to assess the actual contribution of undocumented foreign nationals to serious violent crimes like murder and aggravated robbery.
So the focus on arresting undocumented foreign nationals may not be the solution to addressing these crimes,
as many arrests are often related to immigration status rather than involvement in violent offenses. 5. Economic impact. A study by the HSRC found that many immigrants, particularly those from neighboring countries, start their own businesses. These businesses often create jobs for South Africans, contributing to economic growth and development. For instance, in many townships, immigrant-owned spaza shops provide employment opportunities for local residents by buying wholesale products from South African suppliers.
And what I mean by that is most of these small shops owned by foreign nationals, they buy their products they buy wholesale from South African companies like Cool Beans, Tastic, Jungle Oats, Albany Bread. You know, what else? You know all these brands, all these things, all these companies. They also sell them in those small shops, so they provide employment for those companies because those companies need a lot of money, and when they get a lot of money, they also employ a lot of people still.
Other businesses may require skilled South African workers to support their operations. These statistics highlight the disparity between public perception and actual data regarding immigrant crime rates in South Africa. Conclusion.
So, what have we learned? Numbers do not lie, and the people that are to be held accountable are the politicians, are the people on social media that are pushing all this agenda of immigrants commit crimes, or immigrants commit high levels of crime and stuff like that. It's not true, and stats do show that. As we have seen, the data from countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, and South Africa shows that generally immigrants are less likely to commit crimes, violent crimes in all of these countries. And the perception that immigrants are responsible for rising crime rates, there are no evidence. I'm sorry, but there are no evidence, all right? There are no evidence.
But then again, how do we know they are not committing crimes if they are not in the system?